Hello, I'm Rusty Dog, and something's not right already. Hello, I'm Rusty Dog. Right, yeah, I don't know what's happened, something's not right. It's on the stream, it's not the game. Okay, I'll fix it later. Hello, yes, so here we are in San Antonio, Texas, I would imagine it is, and we're going to be flying to Memphis, Tennessee today in the Boeing 737. This is real time, real weather, everything, and because it's a short flight, just over an hour, I think, although times may vary, I'm going to attempt to show you all of my workings on this one. How we get it going from a cold start, all the flight planning, everything. So if you're interested in that, stay tuned. I'm not going to get it perfect, I'm not a real world pilot, but I muddle through and I somehow manage to make it. Most of the time. Alright guys, so hello DEFCON, good morning to you. It's 1 p.m. here, and I think it is 7 a.m. local time where we are here in San Antonio. So no doubt by the time we've got going, the sun will be up and everybody will be enjoying their lunch. But I was hoping to get in the air and, you know, have the sunrise during the flight. But there is flight planning to be done. So here we are on board and we can't see anything. So let's put the torch on and we'll get some lights going. So the first thing we have is ground power. So if I go up here, we can see ground power is available. But before I enable that, I want to put the battery on. So I think that's the battery. I can't see here. There it is. So battery's on. We also want the emergency lights on, as you can see. That now gives us the cockpit. But when we switch to ground power, now we lose that. However, let's start turning up the panel lights. And there's also a dome light up here, which I'll switch to dim. Actually, let's go bright. Yeah, let's go bright with that one. We can switch it to dim just before we start moving. So now let's light up the rest of the panels down here. So we have background. And we got floodlights if we want them. Don't need to go too far on those. Main panel. Like to have them pretty bright. I think in general you don't really have them that bright. You know, like that overhead light seems to be a little bit over bright at the moment. Let's see if let's try and sort that out. I think it's a little bit too much. Let's go on to dim. Yeah, that's nicer. Okay. So we've also got a light at the back here to light up the center console. So let's do that. And the panels are off at the moment. That's okay. There we go, they're back. And brightness on this, I don't know if you can do it, but I'm quite happy with it as it is. I think that's about it. I think we've got a decent brightness here. We can see everything we need to see. Okay. So, we need navigation first, so let's do that. Up here we have the nav switches. Let me just switch to the panel. There you go. So we got nav there, and I'm going to move this over to heading STS. There we go. And then down into this. I keep pressing the wrong button on that one. That's because of the Phoenix I was doing the other day. So flaps up there. Your damper I'll put on, but I know it's going to cancel itself out. But I'll check it again later. Circuit breaker brightness. Well, we'll just put that on a little bit. Okay, so we have ground power set as our source for the amps and stuff. We can switch that to APU, but it's not switched on yet. Neither are the engines. Engines are Gen 1, Gen 2. That's our standby power, and this is our ground power. So this is just a reading of what we're getting coming in, 24 volts and AC volts and whatnot. Okay. Right. I think for now we're okay here. I do have the flight plan done, but I'm going to show you guys all of that in a second. Now we're waiting for the GPS to initialize so the plane knows roughly where it is, and then once we tell it the actual latitude, longitude, it'll be able to plot exactly where we are in comparison to the runway and all that kind of stuff. Now I think we're on parking number 13. I can't be 100% sure. I can put my light out now. I think I'm on parking 13. It won't matter too much, but I think that's my gate number. This is a third-party airport. I don't know. Maybe I should... let me just switch to daytime just for a moment. See if it's numbered. Unfortunately, we won't be taking off here. Do we have a number on the... No, we don't have a number. I think it is 13 though. Yeah, not sure why we're... Oh, okay. It's because we have stairs. That's why we're parked so far back. Okay. That ticking sound you hear, I think is this. We have to make sure that the plane is configured for first class and economy, because that's how I have the SimBrief plan set up. So we need to go in and set that up. Hello, Andy K. Welcome, sir. So if we go into aircraft and equipment, I'm going to get rid of that ticking sound as well, because we don't need the analog instrument there. V1 call out is off. Okay, clearly I need to configure this. Minimum call out, I want that on. And put that one on as well. Okay, just going through the options here to make sure that we're set up correctly. Something you have to do for every livery. I could get the details from a different plane, but I don't know which one to pick it from, to be honest. Now we're in the United States, so the default transition level is 18,000 feet. That's all over the US. Okay, so the standby instruments, you'll see that are set to analog. And that puts these instruments on the screen like this. But this, as you can hear, is ticking. So if I switch that, you see how the ticking goes away? So we can, you hear? That's this thing. Even if I unlock it from its cage, I can't stop the tick, and it's annoying. So we're going to just have a digital display instead, and an analog kind of compassy thing. Right, so we do have the HGS, which is the heads-up display. That's on. The yaw damper gauge is on. That's just underneath there, barely able to see that. Carbon brakes, I'm good with. I like that. External light package. LED. Let's put LEDs on. Eyebrow windows. I like them, but no. No eyebrow windows. Right. Okay, so we are needing a two-class layout. Single class is completely economy. Every seat. It does allow more seats on the plane, but in SimBrief I chose the airframe that is two-class. So I have to match the plane here with that. So that's what I wanted to do. The cutoff switches, well, that's these two things here. And if we switch to the new style, we get these little newer buttons. But for this flight, let's stick to the old. And next page, Wi-Fi antenna is on. Very random, these things for everyone. Auto ignition, no. Window shades, we can put those on just in case we get some sunrise and it starts to blind us. And the pressurization panel, if we want new or old, it's set to new. So if we take a look at the pressurization panel, that's this fella here. We take a look where it says manual here, you'll see the way that it looks. And if we come down back to, I don't know which number it is, 3. If we set it to old, it is different. It has to be. Yeah, I think it's a little bit smaller, isn't it, the dial? Let's go back to new again. Yeah, it is. It's definitely different. Okay, I don't mind either way. It doesn't really matter to me, so I'm quite happy to keep it on the new. So yeah, I'm good with that. And what I'm going to do is I wish I could save this with a file name, but you can't. You can save this setup based on the where is it? Where's the label on this? It would be saved under this name. So yeah. Yeah, I'm not going to select anything. It will have saved it automatically. So we've done that. Displays then. Well, there's a very important one we need to check on here, and that is the fuel. The fuel has to be in kilos and not pounds, because that is how SimBrief works. It works in kilos, so we have to match that here. So we have to go through, I think it's page 7, I'm not sure. That's 7. No, must be... then it's the last page. Okay, there we go. So there, you can see we need to switch that to kilos. Quite important. Brake temperature indicator on or off. We'll put that on. Okay. I think I'm happy with the plane setup now. Yeah, we're good. And now we can go back to here and into the FMC, which is the aircraft's systems. Alright, first thing we need to do then is tell the plane, or tell the computer where the plane is in the world. And we do that with position in it, or pos in it. And this is what the GPS has picked up, but we're going to put in our reference airport, which is KSAT, which is the ICAO code for San Antonio. The gate, I think it's 13. I don't know. I think that's what I said. The coordinates are a little bit different. It's not going to be too much. If you're not sure which one to put into this field with the empty blocks, you can go to next page. Oh, we're still waiting for this to pick up, are we? Let's pick up this, what the GPS has got anyway. And we'll put that in the... This is like doing a Control-C, putting it into the copy buffer. And then we go back, and we're kind of just going to paste it in there. And now the plane knows where it is. Okay. Good. So let's switch over to SimBrief, and we'll just take a look at the details of the flight. Let me just get the map sorted out, because I've just messed that up. Cute. Alright. So I'm going to try and go through all my workings here, providing I can remember them all in the right order. So this is SimBrief. I've already filed the flight plan. Airline, I put in SouthWest Airlines. Flight 2627. The aircraft I chose by choosing the PMDG 737-700 airframe with the dual seating class. So that's first class and economy. We're flying out of San Antonio. We're going to Memphis, and this is our alternate airport. I don't know where it is. Our cruising altitude is 37,000 feet. We will be in the air for 1.5 hours. This is our zero fuel weight and our takeoff weight. And this is the routing from Alamo to Gobi, and then direct to Klingon something, then direct to CVE, direct to T8 TXK, and then on to Holbrook 3. Fine. Good, good, good. The other information we need from here is in this part, where we need the cost index, which is 33, which is here. This is all about cost index is related to fuel usage. A lower number is less fuel usage. I don't know how it quite works, to be honest, but economy airlines, for example, would use a smaller cost index, say like maybe 8. Some are in the 50s, but for this one we put it to 33. My block fuel, the fuel we'll be needing is 7.3 tons all in all, and it's all worked out like this. This is your final reserve amount. This is the fuel to get to your alternate airport, and so forth and so on. Okay, so this is the alternate route should we need to take it, and this is our route. So we're taking off from San Antonio, runway 13 right, across what we just saw, Alamo to Gobi to Klingon to Holbrook, and then landing at 36 right in Memphis, Tennessee. Okay. There are going to be 128 passengers on board. This is the cargo, 3.2 tons. The full payload is going to be 14.2 tons. And the fuel, as we said earlier, 7.3 tons. Takeoff weight, 7.9. Yeah, so I'm going to glean my numbers all from there. This is the route that we'll be taking. It's kind of through Dallas and then Memphis. So the alternative airport, STL or KSTL, is obviously this one, St. Louis, in case we can't land at Memphis for whatever reason. Okay, cool. So with that in mind, let me just flip screens over here. Now I've got to try and remember which order to put everything in. Next we go to route. We're going to have to take a look at Navigraph as well. Oh, I should mention something crucial here. On SimBrief, when the flight's been generated and I'm happy with it, I come all the way down to here, where you can save the flight plans in all these different formats, and I save it as PMDG flight plan. Okay, I click download and it downloads the file, and I put it in the correct folder, which is it's in yeah, I don't know the folder, it's a long name, but there's a folder called flight plans in the PMDG 737 folder that's somewhere. I'll have to try and put it down. Let me see it here. So it's, for me, it's in app data, roaming, Microsoft Flight Simulator, packages, PMDG aircraft 737, and then work, and then flight plans, and it goes in there. Once it's in there, it means instead of putting in your origin and your destination and blah blah blah, you can just go straight in with the company route. And the company route is simply both airport ICAOs put together. So in this case, it's already put the first one in, KSAT, and we're going to KMEM. That's the company route, and if we put it in there, we get activate because we saved the flight plan and it's able to pick it up. If we didn't save the flight plan, it wouldn't be able to pick anything up here. So we're going to activate that, and it basically loads in the SimBrief flight, except for the arrivals and departure, which we'll get from Navigraph. So the flight number, as we know, is SouthWest Airlines 2627. This is not crucial, you don't need to put this in, but I like to have it in there. The runway we're going to be taking off from is 13 right, 13 right. It's quite a taxiway to 13 right, as I recall. And let's execute that. And now we're going into the performance. We haven't even got the people on board yet. Actually, I don't want to go into performance yet. I want to go to departures and arrivals. Get the flight plan all done. So let's go to arrival at KMEM, which is Memphis. Let's go to arrival there. We know for a fact that we're arriving on runway 36 right. So let's go to the next page. There it is, ILS 36 right. And we're coming in via Holbrook 3, which if you remember... Oh, you can't see the damn screen, sorry. This is a bad thing. I've messed it all up now, haven't I? Where can I go to fix this? Yeah, sorry guys, I had the wrong screen and nobody was telling me. How can I sort this out? Well, I can't really. Oh well, that's kind of screwed this stream up. Maybe don't do it as a stream then, Rusty. Maybe do it as a video. Okay, so what I did was I typed in the company route, KSAT MEM, KSAT to KMEM, which is our 2 ICAOs. And then I pressed activate, typed in the flight number, and that was it, basically. It puts in the flight plan based on SimBrief. And then we go to departures arrivals, we go to arrivals here, and we choose our arrival airport, which I already have done, and we know, let me do this again, because, okay, and we know from the SimBrief flight plan earlier that the last, I'm going to transition back again, right, so we know from the route. Isn't this annoying? You shouldn't put your mouse in the middle, you should put it at the corner. Right, here, you can see the last routing is Holbrook 3, and so that is where we're going. So we choose Holbrook 3, I don't know what the 36B is for, but anyway, we're going to go via Holbrook 3. And now the transition. Well, we're going to have to check on... Just looking at the alternatives here. I might not even choose one, but let's have a look at Navigraph and see what it comes up with. So what am I looking at here? Well, this is Holbrook 3, and we're going to be coming in Otis, Holbrook. See, if we add Holbrook like we just did, it should be adding these waypoints to the flight plan. Let me have a look. ELD, FAE, LIT, MEVI, and TXK. I think TXK is what we want, isn't it? See, there's MEVI. There's one of the things. We've got FAE. Now, I think we are coming in from this direction. So I think we should choose FAE because we are coming in from the northeasterly direction, from up here, so to speak, right? So FAE would seem to be the best one for us, so I'm going to choose that one. Okay, let's go back. Hey Chad, sorry I got a bit distracted there. Hi Chad, welcome. Hope you're okay. So we're going to choose FAE as the transition. Execute that. Now that should be added onto our flight plan, but let me just go back here. I have to do so. I've selected FAE, as you can see, and I executed it, so that's done. But now I want to go into the approaches, and we need to choose 36 right, ILS, this one, and we have this one, Hadan, coming into here, and as we can see, it's dead on 360, this one. Hadan, by the time we get to the Hadan waypoint, we should be at 3,000 feet, then McGee at 2,000 feet, and we're going to come down and down and down and land. And as you'll see here, the airport, or the runway, to be more accurate, is 335 feet above sea level. But our decision altitude, we're going to be doing... See, there's different decision altitudes for Cat 1 and Cat 2, and I'm not exactly sure which one to pick. But I think I'm going to go Cat 1 here. 535 will be our decision altitude. Okay, that's the time at which we have to pull up or abort if we decide not to land. 535. I have that written down. And also another piece of information I want from here is the ILS frequency, which as you can see is 111.35. Just going to write that down because we'll need that frequency to latch onto the glide slope later. Okay. Yeah, McGee. There's McGee. So we've got Hayden, McGee, and then onto the runway. Hayden, McGee. So we may have to try and put that in if we can, unless of course the route's already got it included. Let's have a look. So now that we've got the flight plan, let's go to the legs and see what kind of a mess we have. So we've got 4 pages. Let's go down to the end. There you go, Hayden and McGee. 3,000 or above and 2,000. Exactly as it should be. So the only problem is we've got a route discontinuity here. So there's the gobby and see it's put it all in. So we have a route discontinuity here. So what I'm going to do, let's take a look at that route. Switch to the flight plan here. It now means that as we step through, we can see it. We can see the problems already here. Let's go to the first page, and as we step through from Gobby to CVE, TXK, and we have a little issue there. So what I want to do, just whether it's right or wrong, is I'm going to join up these two. So we're going to click Faye, put it in the little clipboard here at the bottom, go back a page, and we're going to paste it in there. And click execute, and that kind of joins up those lines. And so now we're going to step through again just to make sure that we've got, yep, it's all joined up now. 16,000 feet or above at Otis. Onto Holbrook. Wow, okay. Something a bit weird here, guys. Hold on. The cruising altitude is 37,000. I think this will adjust later. You see how it's all blank? Don't worry about that for now. We'll be fine. Just making sure that all the steps are there. And it looks like we're good. Let's step through until we land. Holbrook, Rocab. Go back. We have a vector here after Rocab. Vectoring to Hayden after that. Yeah, you can see we have a missing line there. Now I could move Hayden up here. In fact, let's do that. Get rid of this vector. I think vector is just basically tell the plane to switch to heading 054 or something like that, or 070, I don't know. Something along those lines. As I said, I'm no pilot, but I get by. So we're going to join it up that way anyway. Okay. And there's it, straight into the runway. Okay. I'm happy with that. Now as for these altitudes, you'll see that this is all blank for now, but that's okay. So we know that the runway is 335 feet above sea level, and we know that we're cruising at 37,000. So let's go and tell this, because this is to do with the pressurization. So set that there, and 335 we can't set here, but we can get close to it. I guess 350 would be the closest. So we'll leave it there. Okay, so that's our runway, destination runway altitude as close as possible. That's our cruising speed. Now then, let's go into the performance. So this is our cruise altitude here. So we can just type in 370. We haven't put the weights in anything yet. Okay, like the passengers. I've got to board the passengers yet. Cost index we know is 33. We looked at that before. The zero fuel weight I think is already done. Reserves I'm going to set to 1 ton. Oh, here we go. It's already having a whinge. And the cruise and wind here is, let's have a look. Go into the meta for that. I don't know why it's called CRZ, but anyway. So we're looking at this 31004, 310 degrees at 4 knots. That's what we're looking at. So we want 310/04. Enable 290 knots. Now, is that because at Otis we're not allowed to be going that fast? We'll check it out later. It's letting us know, but we'll clear that for now. And now this I don't know. Do I put my 7.1 in here? We haven't even got the fuel in the plane yet. So, I guess we can do that. So let's go to the menu. I'm just going to do this really quickly. Put the fuel and the payload in rather than bring the fuel truck and all that stuff. So, as SimBrief has already said, the block fuel that we need is 7.3, was it? Just got to double check. Yep, 7301. So, I don't know if that 1 kilo is going to make a difference, but we'll stick it in anyway. 7301 is our fuel level. As you can see, that puts it up. Payload then, well, we have 128 passengers, was it? It looks like that's a full plane. Yeah, we have a full plane, guys. Wow, it's going to be heavy. Okay, so we better put the 8 people in first class and the 120 in economy. Right, in terms of cargo payload, 3.2, 14. Now, I always have trouble working this thing out because the payload, I think, is the passengers and the cargo together. And the cargo is 3.2 tons. So I want to separate that out between front and rear. So I'm going to put 1.5 tons at the front. Oh, is that not right? Is it kilos? And 1600 at the back. I hope it's kilos. Right, the load level 87. And there's our fuel weights, our takeoff center of gravity, which we're going to have to... We don't need to remember it. I think the plane will already put it in, 2504. So we're good there. Alright, we're good. So next is route, I think, and takeoff. No, it's not. Bear with me. Bear with me while I look for the page that I need to find. No. Oh, it is here. Yeah, this is it. Yeah, 0. Okay, so 05 on the flaps. Center of gravity we know is 25.4. That gives us a 4.03 trim, which we can now set here. Oops, go the other way. I fixed my keyboard, by the way. I just had to take off the electric panel, the screen. It's not going backwards, guys. I don't know why. Come on, stay highlighted. There we go. 403. That's our trim. And the V speeds, does it put them in? Yep. Wow. I don't know if I buy that. That's a very slow speed for a heavy plane. Okay. Not sure I like that, guys. 111 knots to rotate? Is that right? Is that really right? Okay, well, as far as the plane's concerned, we do have the passengers on board and the fuel and everything. Hey Strider, you've got a pilot friend who has worked commercial 737 planes, and sometimes he virtual pilots in other near countries, and then we abuse cheap alcohol. Hey, you can drink on a virtual plane. I think we got the passengers on, right? I'm pretty sure we did. Yeah, we have. All on. Cargo is on board. We're 87% of our maximum load. Those... I don't know. I'm not seeing it, guys. It might be. I might be completely wrong, but... I might be completely wrong. But I just think that takeoff, those speeds are a little bit wonky. I'm not quite sure what to put in here. Plan. Oh, there it's got 7.4. Yeah, just leave it. So flight 370. So now in the legs here, as you can see now, all the gaps have been filled in for the flight levels. So it looks like we're going to be going straight up. That's weird. Why has it got Gobi? Oh, these are the legs. Okay. So we've got 35 nautical miles to get straight up to there. Right, so we're going to go straight up to the transition altitude. So let's set these. 18,000 feet is the transition altitude. And then from there we'll just go straight up to 37,000. But at least we'll get there first. Now the course is something that I want to set. I'll set it a bit later. So the V2 speed was what, 122? Not quite happy about that. The heading, guys, is going to be the heading of the runway that we're leaving out on. So let's have a look at that. So if we go into at least this is how I do it anyway, KSAT. It's so that when you take off and you put autopilot on, the plane carries on in the same direction, at least for now. If we take a look at, this is KSAT. Let's go to taxi. So we're going to be taking off 13 right here, which is, if we can get the angle, 128 degrees. You see that? 128 there, just. So that's going to be my heading. Okay, at least that's how I do it. So, heading 128, and the course will be, it is actually correct. This is 0 or 360, which is exactly the course that we need because we're landing on runway 36, and it has a heading of 360, which is correct. Okay, let's put the flight directives on now before I forget. Also arm the auto throttle, and then we can carry on booting the plane up. I think I'm happy with everything here in the FMC. We've done the performance figures, we've done the flight plan, the passengers and the cargo are boarded. So the next thing we need to do then is clear the plane of the stairs, but I'm not going to do that yet. I want to get the APU up and running. So let's go up here and let's start doing all of that stuff. So your damper is still on for now, flaps are up, and we want one of the fuel pumps on in order to be able to power the APU. And so let's do that. Let's turn the APU on. And we just wait for this needle to whiz up and then come down. Once we have that, we've got enough power in the APU and we can switch power over to the APU and take it off ground power. All's good. In the meantime, actually no, let's wait. Let's wait. So I'm going to switch this over to APU, which of course isn't showing anything at the moment, but now as you can see, pressure's building up down here. Or EGT, exhaust gas temperature. So it should be lighting up at the back. Oh, do we have a nice sunrise? Beautiful! And here's the APU at the back powering up. Oh, look at that, guys. Good thing I installed the shades. Nice. Okay, once the APU has powered up properly, we'll get this light on, Gen bus. And now we can switch the power over to that, and we should, yeah, we've got the display up there, look. Okay, so now we're running on the APU power. So we don't need the ground power, so we can tell him to go away, or at least disconnect. We can tell him to go away here. I can do it two ways. I can say ground power go away, stairs go away. Close the doors. I could do that, but there's a quicker way. Ground services, just remove the chocks and everything goes away. Ground power and stairs will now disappear. There they go. The ground power, the cable has been disconnected. He'll probably just disappear at some point. There he goes. Been teleported into another multiverse. All right. So, I think that's it. We can return back to the airplane systems and start firing this thing up. Finally. So now that the APU is on, I want window heats on, probe on, electricals on, and seat belts, not ready for those yet. Packs off. I want isolation valve is open. We can keep it that way. I'm going to stick it on auto. Hope that doesn't give me any hassle. Wing light on, anti-collision light on. Logo, it's daytime now, we don't need it. And now we want to put on the rest of the fuel pumps. What you want to see up here is no orange lights. Of course you're going to have these two orange because the engines are not on yet, but you don't want any orange lights when the plane is started. Okay, I think that's it. I think we're ready for engine start, guys. The thing is, I think runway 13 right, I'm not 100% sure where we are here. So I'm just going to bring up a little nav map to be sure of my position. I just need to know when we do the pushback, which way to turn the aircraft. I think it's going to be nose to the right, but I just want to be 100% sure on that one. Because 13 right is a fair distance. Ah, okay, I see the layout. It's nose to the left. So we're going to go nose left, and then we've got a little taxiway to do. It's more than a little, guys. Runway 13 right is a little bit distant. Hey, Disaster, what is the Clubsport? Is it a trim package? It is. It's a trim package, indeed. Yeah, they only made 600 of them in the world. 600. Right. Yes, the trim is the wheels, the rear spoiler, and some mythical story about 20 kilograms lighter due to removing soundproofing. I don't buy that. I think it's a load of rubbish, but there you go. Okay, so we're going to put the taxi lights on, the runway, I don't know, landing lights. I'm going to leave all that off. APU bleed on. Oh, and while we're doing that, let's get the anti-skid onto RTO, and we'll reset the fuel flow here. And hopefully, if I've got everything right, LNAV and VNAV should be able to light up. Let's put this back onto map mode because we didn't have it, and we'll have terrain switched on as well. Oh, decision altitude. Well, we don't have to put that in right now, but we can, and we need to put the barometer reference in as well. The radio, this is where you put the decision altitude. Let's get the METAR for the air pressure here before we take off. And it says 3015. That's our air pressure right there. So as you can see down here we've got 2992. So if we just move this up till we get to 3015, that should give us our correct altitude. Okay, that's how high we are. I'm going to press B just to see what happens. No, I press B, and it's B on the keyboard will set the air pressure automatically, and as you can see it hasn't changed a damn thing. It's right. So the plane is armed, ready to go to 18,000 at 122 knots. Personally, I think that's a bit too slow, but we'll soon find out if the nose lifts up at that speed. But yeah, I'm a bit concerned about this though. It looks like it's positioned our aircraft next to the runway, and we're certainly not next to the runway. So I don't know whether the GPS positioning is a little bit off. That wouldn't be good. And if it was off, how to correct it? I actually don't know if you can go back and correct that. Yeah, position. Because I did tell it gate 13, but I don't know whether we can change. See these? Okay, IRS left and right. These are probably more accurate. Okay, never mind. I'm just gonna hope when we get on the runway that this still lines up okay. I hope so. Okay, let's get the engines powered, and we know we need to swing the nose to the left, so we can do that. So let's get this screen ready for pushback. And we want to push 262 feet backwards, and we want to turn the nose to the left. Eventually, invalid entry. Why? What's invalid? Come on. Oh, okay, I have this in the clipboard. That's not going to work. Yeah, that's not going to work at all. Right, units feet, so 295 feet, it's worked out. So we're going to select the tug, and we're going to start. I believe we're ready to start. So I'm going to start firing the engines up now.
We've been cleared for push and start.
I have to put the flap, I have to engage the right flaps as well. We've got quite a taxi, guys. We've got to go all the way up. I think it's up all the way up there. Doesn't look too bad from here, does it? Right, so. Oops, hold on. I need to hold the foot brake down. Oops, sorry.
Here we go. Pushback complete. Park brake, please.
Pushback complete.
Brake set.
Did I just mess up there with the brakes? I think I might have done.
Alright, steering pin is disconnected. Watch for the slip and release from guidance on your left. Have a good flight.
Yep, it's got messed up.
Cockpit to ground. Go ahead. We've been cleared for push and start. Tail to the right.
Okay, so we want
Copy that. Ready for push, tail right.
we want this to get to 25, and we will inject the fuel. Just waiting for this little number here. 20 and 25%. Go. That should now fire up N1, which is here. There we go. We're not getting pushback, are we? I'm sure I need to have the brakes off.
Brakes released.
No, they're not released. Now they are. Can you push me back, please? Or do I have to do this manual?
Brakes released. Here we go.
Yay! Woohoo! Finally. It was dark when we started. Alright, I guess we better power up the other engine. I think we got a good start on the other one. Oh, come on, switch. Okay, so again, waiting for 25% on N2, which is the jets. And then we'll fire up N1, which is the fans, the big fans. Go. Nice. So the only two things we need to feed into the plane now as we're approaching our destination is the ILS frequency, which is 111.35, and the decision altitude, which is 535. We'll feed those in later. Yes, 2992 is standard. Yep. When you click standard here, when you get above the transition altitude, that's 299, the equivalent of 2992, correct. Thanks, Disaster. I'm going to just call you Disaster because Adastus, I'm going to tongue tie it. Okay, did they do it? They did do it. Okay, they're not going to release the tug until I put the brakes on, so we better do that. So we need to hold down these foot brakes here and pop on the parking brake. Oh, I do not like this positioning. It might work out okay. We'll have to see, because we have to go down, kind of down here, and then do a U-turn. So it might be correct in the end of the day. It looks like it might be. Right, we can start the chrono from when we take off and stuff like that if we want to. Anyway, enough yapping. We've got everything set. Auto brakes are set. Fuel flow has been reset. LNAV and VNAV are not lighting up. LNAV not lighting up. That's not good. Why? It usually does that on the runway. Okay, well, hopefully that'll fix itself at some point. Normally have them both lit. Right, I've got my throttle in place. I've got going to take the brakes off, so I just hold the foot brake down for a couple of seconds and it disengages automatically. We want to go flaps 5, so it's going to be 1, 2, and 3. And that should put the flaps down. What a glorious aircraft. I tell you, between this and the Phoenix, man, What more could you want? A little Cessna. Yeah. Okay, so we are at flaps 5, which is the correct takeoff. Will it do it now? No. I thought maybe it was having a whinge because I didn't have the right flap set. Anyway, normally LNAV will kick in. It wanted to. I think it might do it when we take off. Doesn't matter. Alright, so we need to taxi all the way to the runway. Some of this cockpit lighting, not the panels, but the cockpit lighting, we can kind of turn them down now because... Now, do I take that route off or do I take the second route? I don't think it matters. I'll take the second route, which is here. So that's how to prepare a 737, guys. See, I've made it so easy, anyone can do it. Look at the shadows. That shadow that we're seeing on the left window there is the tail fin, right? We've got to go right up to the end here, guys. All the way to the end. We are going a little bit quick for taxiing. But who's going to tell us off, really? It looks like we're right on the runway, doesn't it? Looking at the main display there. The coordinates surely not going to be that far off. I mean, we're talking fractions, so I think we'll be fine. As long as the plane hits the waypoints, we should land okay. So it looks like a nice sunny morning in San Antonio, so we should have a nice comfortable flight. Doesn't look like too many clouds in the sky. Looking forward to a relatively trouble-free flight. Now we're going to take not the next right, but the one after. Okay, this is where you would probably stop here and then do the the auto brakes and all of that stuff, but I've already done everything, so I'm just going to go straight onto the runway. This plane is ready to go up. Again, I'm not sure about the rotate speeds, but it is what it is. Okay, guys. So we're going to power up until the power here reaches 40%. Then we'll release the brakes, and we can either push the throttle full forward or hit this button, toga, which is a screw. I'm just going to do the throttles. Brakes on, power up. And full. I will try and lift the nose when it says, but we'll see.
80 knots. Maintain.
Yep. Ooh, what was that caution?
Climb.
Positive right, gear up. And switching to autopilot now. And LNAV also is now engaged. Retracting flaps to stage 2. Oh man, is that real? That looks real. Holy crumbs. That's a screenshot. That looked real just for a second. Man, that looks good. How on earth did they manage to do this? Look at the football pitch down there. It's these weather conditions that makes it look as good as this. Retracting flaps to level 1. Damn, the graphics look awesome there. Wow. Oh, that is scary good, isn't it? Okay, flaps fully retracted now. Look how good this game looks. And I'm getting such smooth frame rates as well. Man, oh man. $9,000 feet, climbing for 18,000. All is good in the world. Where is the... There we go. Man alive. I just want to take screenshots. How good does that look? Look at the sun just coming up here. Oh, I think I'm quite comfortable in the passenger cabin, to be honest. Damn. How real do you want it? This is the reason why I live streamed, because it was early morning and I thought, if we can take off when it's kind of dark still, get the sunrise as we were in the air, and then land in the daytime, that would be kind of cool. But of course there was all the flight prep to do. That's another little runway down there. Where's my little sun blind? There it is. Let's clip that on. We can slide it across. It should come all the way around in case we need it. And of course we have our heads-up display. What a great plane. Look at that, we're climbing 3,100 feet a minute. That tells us that we're just hitting 18,000. I think we're just going to go straight up. Yeah, let's just go straight up now to 37,000. So let's do that. Higher we go, the more fuel we're going to save. There we go. I'm hoping it's going to go straight up. If it doesn't, I will ask it to do so. It's allowed to do it, I believe. I don't think there's any constraints here. Okay. I'm going to ask the plane to do it then. We have an altitude intervention button there, which I'm just going to click. And now that tells the plane, please do what I'm telling you. And she'll go up to 37. Yeah, the altitude intervention button, there's two interventions. You've got altitude and you have speed here. Basically commanding the plane, I think, just to do what you need. Okay, so up here we can turn off taxi lights. We can turn off APU. Should have done that a while ago, but it's okay. We can put the packs on now. Otherwise our passengers might... No? No good? No good with the packs? Why? Weird. You can hear the fans come on, but the temperature should drop, or the pressure should drop here. Okay, it seems a bit happier now, but I don't know what that was. Cabin altitude. Yeah, I should have put the packs on earlier. And I need to go back to standard air pressure now. I should have put the packs on after we took off, really. But this should start coming down. There needs to be a bigger difference. This is not good. Poor passengers are all dying at the back. Why isn't this cooling off? Had this issue before. We're at 24,000 feet. This isn't showing that. And cabin altitude is being shown at 11,000, nearly 11.5. That's too high. It's getting worse now. Okay, I think we better put the I'm gonna open the valve. I'm just messing with this now. I don't even know how to sort this out really. The PAX is basically the aircon, so this is not good. Where these needles are. We can just pretend this is not happening. Yeah, it's not happening. Passengers are fine. It's how to get rid of these cabin altitude error. Oh well. It is what it is. As long as it's not beeping at me, we'll be fine. I've had this happen a few times. I just wonder if it was to do with the timing, because after you take off, really, you need to start pressurizing, and I didn't. So now, to get that pressure back down again, I really would like this little needle to go down a little bit. 8,000 is good. 8,000 I think is fine, but it's currently at 11. And this doesn't seem to be reading the correct number. Unless I'm reading it wrong. You've got one which is cabin altitude, right? Which is 11,000. Then you've got your difference in pressure. So that's 15, 16, 11, 16. I don't know. 27? Are we at 27,000? 30 now. This is where we have this. Oh well. It looks like that small needle is going down, but it's just doing it so slowly. But once it gets into the 8,000 feet pressurization in the cabin, I think that is normal. 8,000 or below. Yeah, I think that's good. But nothing's beeping anymore, so. Right, let's run through the views here. So we have this little fella. Over the nose, looking at the windscreen wiper. Man, what a cloudless sky we have today. Yeah, all the economy passengers are asleep, Strider, and the drinks have only been served to the first class. Keeps the cost down. In fact, we can have a look at those first class passengers. I have to set the ILS frequency as well. We can do that right now, actually. Do we have a panel for it? A screen? Yeah, that one would work, but anything closer? No. Okay. Right, so the ILS frequency on the arrival is 111.35. We'll put that on standby. I'm trying to get to the inner one. There we go. So as we're approaching the airport, we'll flick this over to active, and that will allow the plane to pick up the localizer. and bring itself in. Although I will be doing the landing. We saw what happened last time. And if we go further back, we have that. There's supposed to be three things. Oh, there they are. Yeah, if we pull those, we'll manually drop the landing gear. You know, like if we get a problem that landing gear can't come down or doesn't come down by a normal means, we can pull any of these handles and try and release it via gravity, but hopefully we won't need to do that. And all the wheels will come out anyway. Right, what else are we looking at here? We've got nose, we've got this lovely view of the sun glinting off the wing and some cloud below. Awesome. Lovely and quiet. So, a UFO, guys, we got a UFO tailing us. What the hell is that anyway? Another plane? No. No, it's just some light effect off the sun, look. Whoa, plane's turning. Okay. Man, look at that view. It's like I'm a real passenger and I'm just looking down. At just... wow. Never ceases to amaze me, this sim. So what's this body of water you're asking? Or not? Let me see if I can find out. We're just approaching it. It is, hold on. It's called the Belton Lake. That's the Belton Lake, and it's in... I'm trying to find out where we are here. It's near a place called Nolanville. No, there's a machine gun range just here, where my mouse is. There's a machine gun range there, apparently. And a paintball. Paintball is around here. And Fort Hood Recreation Area would be, I think, here. There's plenty going on around that lake. Plenty of activities. Start switch must be pressurized during manual operation. Trying to find other views now. Co-pilot. And the compass. And when you think that the 737-600 is exactly the same plane as this, only smaller in length, just a tiny bit smaller in length, and it's for like $30 or something, because I think the 600 is a smaller price, or lesser price than the other two are like 60 bucks. But this is like, the 600 is only half that price. For what you get, which is the 600 is exactly the same here, everything. For that money, it's an absolute bargain, because this is, you know, pretty much study level here. Got a couple of lamps here we can move around, turn them on, so in case you want to read our charts. But they haven't implemented the EFB yet, the little iPad thing. Oh, hold on. Okay, now I've lost control of my light. Turn it off. And there's another one of those lamps up here, I think, somewhere. There is another one somewhere. Oh, here. But in the real plane, this doesn't move. But they said that they've made this movable just for our quality of life. But I think this is a static lamp normally. How to switch it on though, I don't know. There must be a button for it somewhere. Maybe something down here that will turn it on. One of these perhaps. A map light. Oh, is it this one? Map light. There we go. Chart light. It's one of these. It's either the chart light or the map light that's going to turn that one on. How are we doing here? Okay, so we're going to start our top of descent. Oh, Otis, yeah, it had a problem at 280, didn't it? Sorry, 290. It hasn't whinged since, though. So Faye is 37,000 feet, but Otis is 16,000 or above. But yet Holbrook is still flight level 2. Okay. I might have a look at that. 10,000 at row cab. Okay. So 16,000 or above is... We still need to be within 37 and 23. So I'll probably bring it down to 30,000 here. I don't know, because that's a constraint. I don't know if it's going to let me program it. Like if I wanted to tell the plane be at 30,000 there, I don't know if it's going to let me do it. Oh, okay. It will. Okay. So we're going to come down 7,000 feet there and another 7,000 there. But here we have to be at 23,000 or below. That's what the B is for. I don't mind being below that, to be honest. So if I do FL 220 and program that there, I'm now telling the plane to be at 22,000. You can also do the same for the speed. You can change the speed if you wish, so the plane knows what to do. No destination path after Holbrook. Is that destination? Doesn't matter. I'll just try and I'll wing it, guys. I'll try and wing it and just do my best. So we are at cruising. Yeah, we're cruising now. Speed is only 248 though. I'm okay with that. So let's get the I mean, we're nowhere near descending, but we can get the descent decision altitude, sorry, which is 535. So we're going to switch this to radio. See, at the moment it's showing the barometer. If we switch it over to radio and then we put in 535, just bring that up, adjusting down here. That's the decision altitude for a Cat 1 landing. Done. Yeah. I think it's that as opposed to baro. Pretty sure it's radio. Yeah. So those tires stay exposed, eh? I'll let you know where we are if we're flying over anywhere significant. Let's have a look. There's another plane to our right, apparently, just gone past us. I don't know if what altitude is it at? Oh, 9,000. Okay, so it's past us and below us. I don't think we'll be able to see it. We're a little bit too high. So we are. There's so much clutter on the screen though. It's hard to see. So there's an airport, a small one, Claiborne Municipal on our left. We can even see that. Oh my god. Yeah, try to find it. Claiborne Municipal Airport. Yeah, good luck. Oh, I can see a big kind of highway. I don't know where the airport is. Is that it? I don't know. It's somewhere in this direction anyway. Ah, okay. We got a lake there. There's the lake. It's after the lake. It's after the lake, further out to out. It's gone. It's gone. Right. We're approaching Arlington Municipal Airport. Coming up on the nose, slightly to the left. If we'll ever find it. Wow, the ground, all the I don't know what to call it. The cities, the ground is amazing. Just the structure of all the streets and everything. So, Arlington Municipal Airport, where are you? Where are you? Straight ahead, we're coming across a town called Mansfield. On, is it highway, or is it Interstate 287, or? Yeah. We're just going across that now. Which is this, is it? No, it's this one. This is 287. And the airport of Arlington is somewhere. There it is. There it is, right there. Arlington Municipal Airport. And we're going to be flying all the way across it. From what I can see, there's no planes near us. There was a little while ago. There's a jet that's just left from there. And another one approaching, but it's too far away from us. American Airlines on our left right now, but I don't know. I don't think we're going to see that either. It's a fair distance away, to be fair. And yeah, Arlington is just below us apparently. There it is. How cool. Oh, we always serve good food here on SouthWest Rusty Airlines. It's always nutritional. Only the best McDonald's for the economy class. I wonder what that is. When you look at the plane from above, it doesn't look like it's flying that fast, does it? Now what is this thing? What's that? A great big teapot. Man, it looks fantastic though. The ground textures across the USA just look so good. Oh, melt the camera lens. So this big lump on the back here, this thing, this is our Wi-Fi aerial, our Wi-Fi antenna. So people are enjoying Wi-Fi on the plane. How cool for them. As we take a turn. God damn, this sim, look at that, this sim looks so good. How it's come on. If you look at Flight Simulator like 10-15 years ago, or even further back, go back to the very first simulators, flight simulators, the graphics, just vector lines and crappy frame rates. And or all you could see on the first one, the very first ones, was just like two lines for a runway, and there was no anti-aliasing. There was just big thick lines, and they would update once every second or so. And now look at this. Wow. Damn. It's like it's crazy. Yeah, you wouldn't imagine being the guy in a jetpack trying to get that shot at the back of the engine. Gotta keep up with the plane first. We're doing 248 knots, and we've got a little distance to go before we get to top of descent. Let's just increase the range here. So now we're 80 nautical miles out, 60 and 80, but the next waypoint doesn't kick in until another 136 nautical, so it's further out. We'd have to go another level first to do that, and there it is, TXK. And then we've got another 127 to fly to Faye, and then after Faye we can take a look at where the top of descent is and then start coming down. Holbrook. Is that Holbrook? It looks like we have a tailwind at 45 knots pushing us. That's good. We might get there a few minutes early. We've got a nice look. The wind is pretty much behind us. It's slightly to the that way, slightly to the right, but a 45 knot tailwind. Nice. We'll be saving fuel for sure. How are we doing on fuel anyway? Pretty good. We've got just over 2.5 tons of fuel in each wing. There's nothing in the center. So I was toying over doing a big flight, transatlantic, but not in the Concorde, in one of these, but it would mean a stop off in Canada for fuel in Halifax. I think we need to stop off in Halifax. So from Heathrow into Halifax, pick up some fuel, and then take off from Halifax and land at JFK. The issue with that, guys, is doing it live, because we're looking at a 8.5 hour flight, and that's not counting the stopover. Yeah, so we could be looking around 9 hours. And if that was live streamed, I don't know if you guys would want to be sitting in that. It'd be pretty boring. Where's my other little shady thing? There it is. But it would be a hell of a thing to say that you've done it, though. We could do it in Concorde, but I'd have to relearn Concorde systems and landing the damn thing again. Maybe have to look back on one of my own videos, I would say. But it would be a nice thing to be able to say I did a transatlantic flight, because these 737s and the A320s. I don't know if in real life they can make it in one go, but in the sim they don't. So we need to have a stopover. I mean, the tanks before we take off would be brimmed with fuel, and we'd be quite a heavy aircraft. And then, yeah, we've got just enough fuel to make it to Halifax in Canada, and then we would be taking off from there with the requisite fuel to get us to JFK, which is, by comparison, a small hop. So everything going okay. How's the pressure system, by the way? It's normalized. See, we're getting around 8,000 there. See how these needles are far apart? That's what we want. That's what we want. So this is the difference in pressure in PSI. So if this is at 26 and that's at 8.5, let's say, so 26, 34,500 feet, that would total, if I'm doing it right. I didn't put the seatbelts thing on. Put your seatbelts on. Actually, they don't need them on now. Well, it's on auto, so it won't matter. And yet we're doing 37, so don't know what that is. But yeah, cabin pressure looks okay now, and if I'm not mistaken, the light is out. So plane's happy now, and the passengers have all been resuscitated one by one. Oh, that low rumble is gorgeous. I mean, the Phoenix plane sounds fantastic now. And I do love the sounds of the fly-by-wire Airbus, but I know even though the engine startup on that sounds really nice, it's not. The Phoenix is accurate to the real plane, because they've taken samples from the real Airbus, so the Phoenix is a lot more accurate. But the sounds on all these three jets are just really nice. Are you on the flight, Strider? Breadsticks. Yeah, breadsticks isn't going to really work. No. On my flight, if we're flying on Sundays, we do a full English Sunday roast. Just so that when we land, the guy who does the waste management, he can have a good job of it. Can someone Google that serial number? PPG, I'd say. PPG is... I remember the... Anyway. Yeah, PPG, serial number 08030R1977. Does it actually relate to a left-hand side glass pane for a Boeing 737? And there's another old worn number on there as well. This must be like a part number or something. I don't know how genuine that is. I'm guessing it's made up, really. But it kind of looks cool. Oh yeah, of course, yeah. Same as a car. Every part's got a serial. I wonder if cornflakes have got serial numbers. Sorry, I couldn't resist. Couldn't resist. Let's have a look at this HUD brightness. I've not fiddled with that. Does it work? I don't know, is it working? I'm twiddling it, but nothing. I love this because of the way the image is projected. If I move, it just follows me like this, which I think is correct, right? I think it's supposed to do that. Yeah, use the force. That's when, yeah, like in the X-Wing when they took the hood away, didn't they? Use the forks, Luke. Let's take a look outside. Put your big coat on. If I'm not mistaken, I think this might be my first flight with SouthWest. I'm not sure. I don't know if I've used this livery before. Where's the sun now? Up there. Do we have a UTC time? Yeah. 13:41 Zulu. Have any of you guys got Alexas? Because, hang on, I'll just find out here. What time is it in Memphis, Tennessee?
I'm in Memphis, Tennessee, United States.
Okay, so it's 8:41 a.m. in Memphis, Tennessee right now. See, unlike the Airbus, it doesn't tell you, from what I can see, it doesn't tell you what time you're going to be landing. Anyone know what this is? RNP actual 2 and then 0.07 nautical miles. Anyone know what that is? Not quite sure what that relates to. Is this telling us that the runway is 391 feet off the ground? Let's ask Navigraph. I'm going to have a look at Navigraph and have a look and see. So where we're coming in on, let's have a look. Approaches 36 right, ILS 36 right. Well, it says the runway is 321 feet off the ground. 391. Okay. Ooh. Was I looking at the wrong chart when I think I was. Oh guys, I was looking at the wrong chart when I was putting in the ILS and the I was looking at, yeah, okay. Let's change that. So the ILS frequency, I was obviously doing it for San Antonio. That was silly. So let's do the outer one. So we're looking at 108. Good thing I checked, guys. We would have completely messed that up. 108.9 is the ILS frequency for Memphis. And for a Category 1 landing, the radio is 521. Good thing I checked. Yes, what an idiot. I took the things off the wrong chart. That has now been corrected. We can switch that over later. Yeah, I've chosen not to have any of the chatter on today, but I can add some if you guys want. Where are we? Well, let me know if you don't want it, because I'm going to add it. So currently we are going over Fort Worth by the looks of it. So let's tune in to Fort Worth control. Now it should be set to only play if the communication is switched on, and it is. 123.925. Yep, only play when your COM1, COM2 is powered up. So let's go.
Southwest 1927 center on 13677. 2677.
Live chat, live ATC chatter from Fort Worth. How far we are from Fort Worth, I don't know. Ooh, there's an aeroplane off our starboard bow, Commander. What's his height? 40,000. So slightly above us. There he is. There he is. See him, guys? Woohoo! Look at the speed of that dude. There he goes. Man! How quick! What speed is he doing, by the way? Does it say? No, it doesn't say his speed, unfortunately. But I can tell you where he's going, I think. Yes, he's going to San Antonio, where we left. Yep. That plane's on his way to San Antonio. Real traffic. We're now flying over New Boston. And it's all white on the map. I wonder why. Yeah. This is New Boston. That a wind farm down there? No, 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 no. Flight sim looks so good at this time of day. Yes, we're just over New Boston. There's a very windy river to our left. I don't know what it's called. It's very, very windy, like completely snaky. Let's see if we can see that. There it is, look. Look at that thing. No idea what that is. It just says Texas and Arkansas next to it. Oh, here we go. It's Red River. That's Red River, guys. It's blue, but still, look at that. Yep. I'm looking at Google Maps on my little nav map, and as you can see, it matches up here perfectly. Amazing how they've modelled the bloody planet one to one. It's crazy. No, first flight with this airline, not first flight on this plane. Slight difference. Where's the nose camera? Is it number 2? Yes. Yeah, I like this. I do like this Boeing. It took me a while to learn how to start it all up, you know. But then one day I just thought, I'm just going to do some kind of casual throwaway flight, you know. And I thought I'll try and start it up from memory. And I did. I kind of surprised myself. So from then on I was just able to do it without looking at the checklist. Oh. We have another passenger seat here. Do we have one on the other wing? I can't remember what the camera was for it. There we go. Can you imagine doing it every day for a job? Yeah, you know what though? You get to stop over and see all these different places. But if you going to the same airports every day, yeah. You've got that responsibility for everybody on the flight. Trusting to reliability of the engines. And trusting you can handle a situation should it come up. Someone's got to do it. But then again, what about being a surgeon or a nurse or something? What they have to go through every day. Yeah. Right, we're approaching Faye, which is blah 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 blah. So this is this marker here is 120 nautical miles. So that's dead center here is 100. So 105, 110 nautical miles away. It should tell us actually 107. Sorry, it's right there. Yeah, 106 nautical miles to Faye, and then I think we start the descent, right? Let's have a look. Yeah, there will be a top of descent marker, which I think is that green dot. It says T/D. That is when we start descending. And I will try and hit my marks here. I think what I'm going to do though is set the descent to from 37,000. I'm just going to go straight to 3, and I want to see where the plane's going to be when it hits that 3,000. It needs to be either before, directly on, or after Hayden, and then we'll adjust the flight accordingly. But we will have a little graphic come up on the descent, which will tell us if we're on the correct flight path in terms of our vertical, whether we're descending too soon, or too fast or too little, whatever. So we'll be okay. We should be fine. Just follow what the instruments are saying and we'll be good. I could bring it down actually just to the next one, but if we go, see, this is a constraint, but I've changed the flight level here, which is still within the constraint, I believe. So I think once we get to Faye, we'll bring it down to 30,000. But I think I can actually change this now, and it shouldn't do anything until I actually tell it to. I don't know whether the autopilot will do it by itself when it gets to top of descent or not. But if not, then I'm just going to hit altitude intervention, and that will start the plane descending anyway. But the 30,000 is armed and ready, so it could be when the plane gets to top of descent, it'll come down on its own. If it doesn't, then I'm kind of wasting a bit of time, because then I'll have to do it. And by then we're going to have to descend faster than we normally would in order to hit the mark, so to speak. But we've got a little bit of a ways to go yet. So if I bring this range down to 80, then Faye should be coming in, well, it's 83 now, so in the next 3 nautical miles, we should see it just appear at the top here. As soon as it hits 80 nauticals, it should appear. Or just under, I would say. We'll see. And now. It will. It'll just appear now. Oh, TCAS is off. That's not clever. Is that it? I'm trying to remember where it is. That is TCAS. Yeah. Where are you, Faye? This is the 80 nautical mile marker. Is that it coming in? There it is. It's just fading in. Yeah, but yes, I agree, DEFCON. And imagine how that perspective changes even more if you're in the International Space Station. Remember that line that, I don't know if you know the line from Carl Sagan about every drop of blood spilt. I don't know if you know that one. It's from the Pale Blue Dot speech that he gave, and it's an amazing quote. Just to, it kind of puts into perspective that everything everything that's ever happened, every person that's ever been born and died and fought has just happened on that little blue ball, which Carl Sagan refers to as a mote of dust suspended in a sunbeam. Because the galaxy, man, is huge, and there's 400 billion galaxies that we know of, and the insignificance of us, like, as a life form, we are completely insignificant judging on the galactic scale. The only significance we have is to each other, really. Yeah, the pale blue dot. It is humbling. It's an amazing thing that Carl Sagan said. It's yeah. It's the one, the quote about the masters and generals fighting, for territory, just to be that was it, to be the momentary masters of a fraction of a dot. Think of that. All those lives lost in like World War II or something, to be a master of a piece of land momentarily. Yeah, if you want perspective on the human race, it's all in that quote. It's all there. I've got the quote. You want the quote? Okay, I'm going to read the quote out from Carl Sagan while we ponder our position in the skies here. Look again at that. So basically there's a picture of the Earth from a long way, like a little tiny blue dot. And the quote is, look again at that dot. That's here. That's home. That's us. On it, everyone you love, everyone you know, everyone you have ever heard of, every human being who ever was, lived out their lives. The aggregate of our joy and suffering, thousands of confident religions, ideologies and economic doctrines, every hunter and forager, every hero and coward, every creator and destroyer of civilization, every king and peasant, every young couple in love, every mother and father, hopeful child, inventor, explorer, every teacher of morals, every corrupt politician, every superstar, every supreme leader, every saint and sinner in the history of our species lived there on that mote of dust, suspended in a sunbeam. But then, the other bit is, the Earth is a very small stage in our vast cosmic arena. Think of the endless cruelties visited by the inhabitants of one corner of this pixel on the scarcely distinguishable inhabitants of some other corner. How frequent their misunderstandings, how eager they are to kill one another, how fervent their hatreds. Think of the rivers of blood spilled by all those generals and emperors, so that in glory and triumph they could become the momentary masters of a fraction of a dot. Are you listening, Mr. Putin? Yeah. Our posturings, our imagined self-importance, the delusion that we have some privileged position in the universe, are challenged by this point of pale light. Our planet is a lonely speck in the great enveloping cosmic dark. In our obscurity, in all this vastness, there is no hint that help will come from elsewhere to save us from ourselves. The Earth is the only known world so far to harbour life. There is nowhere else, at least in the near future, to which our species could migrate. Visit? Yes. Settle? Not yet. Like it or not, for the moment, the Earth is where we make our stand. Yep. Carl Sagan. Wow. And if anyone is into sci-fi or whatever, or the universe and cosmology and stuff, if you haven't seen Cosmos, Carl Sagan's Cosmos, I would suggest you avail yourselves of it. It's incredible. And Carl Sagan was an incredible person. He's like the David Attenborough of space, you know. Amazing guy. Yeah, the rivers of blood spilt to be the momentary masters. And then you look at Russia and Ukraine. I mean, you have to, you have to put it into perspective. It's exactly that. What's it all for? What the hell's the point? What's he doing? This perceived threat that madman thinks he's under, and he's not. It's crazy. Anyway. Now we're 14 nautical miles away. We've made a bit of ground since we were getting philosophical there. So I can't remember, I'm sure I did this test before where I changed the altitude there and waited for the plane to descend when it got to top of descent, knowing that it could, because the VNAV here should be dropping the... Isn't that what it does? Isn't that what VNAV does? If the 30,000 is the next thing, then it would start descending itself. Isn't that what the hell it's all about? But I'm sure it didn't do it last time. So I think when we get to top of descent, I'm going to manually tell the plane to descend. A minor astronomer, cosmologgers, and very drunken person. Well, I have a computerized Celestron telescope locked away in the shed. I haven't got it out because it takes up a lot of room. I've got nowhere to put it. And it's got all the stuff on it for mounting your camera so you can do astrophotography. Yeah. I'm not making anything political, Thomas. I'm just making a statement based on something else that we talked about with Carl Sagan, which is relevant. Oh, and the fact that Putin is a complete mad... Yeah, I think he'd rather nuke the world than lose. Hopefully somebody will be there to not be such a yes man. They like to play fast and loose. Okay, we've made the turn. More windy rivers. Is that the same one? Oh, you can hear the wind up here. But look at the sky, it's gorgeous. Not a cloud. It'd be nice to... I'd like to have one of those flights where it starts off kind of nice and then at destination it kind of rains. Oh, have we gone past? We have. Oh, the plane is descending, thank God. I missed the top of descent, guys. But the plane is descending on its own. Right, so as long as we keep this purple diamond in the middle here, that means that we're descending on the right flight path. But yeah, the plane is descending on its own. But this 290, clearly it's not going to make that, because 290 is telling it to speed up. So I think what we can do is put it on 260. So if I put 260 slash, I hope I'm not going to mess anything up here. So 260 on that, and then I'm going to put 250, and I'm going to tell it that the plane should be at 250 there. So then we've got a nice little progression of coming down in speed there, so the plane can actually slow down now. Or I can actually change the speed manually here. Right, so we begin the descent into Memphis. It's been a very uneventful and calm flight, which is what any passenger wants. So we need to be at 30,000 by the time we get to Otis. It's not going to happen. It's going to happen a little bit after. So for Holbrook, we want to be at 220. I think we can make that. Let's bring it down to 220, and we'll plan for that one. Flight level 220. Now, has that gone way off or what? No. I think it's going to start descending to 220 now. We want to get that green arc line coming up on the screen again. I'm going to tell it to intervene. I'm not quite happy with this. By Holbrook, see, this is where we're going to hit 22,000. It's a little bit late. So what I'm going to do is, we're doing 1900 feet per minute. So I'm going to enable VS, and I'm going to bring the speed of descent, I'm going to increase it so that green line can hit Holbrook. There we go. That puts us back on the flight path. And then once we're there, we can enable VNAV again. think we can do 29. And it'll get the diamond should then come back to us later on. A little bit of cloud there. Yeah, but you know what, Thomas, though, if I, you know, I'm going to discuss what I want to discuss at the end of the day. You know, I don't really do politics. It's not something I dive into. But it was only mentioned because of a quote from Carl Sagan. That's why I popped it up. But, you know, end of the day, if that's what I want to bring up, I'll bring it up. But yes, I won't, though. Free speech and all that stuff, right? We're allowed. Meanwhile, back to the flight. So this is gone down here now, so I'm not sure whether that thinks, are we coming down too fast? Are we not enough? I can't remember which way means which. It looks like we're underneath the flight path here. But by road cab we want to be at 10,000 as well. That's going to be a little bit of a challenge. Let's bring that down to 10, see what happens. I told you I'd have to wing it, didn't I? Okay, there we go. Yeah. You see, road cab 10,000. And then that's not a constraint though. We don't have to be there. We just need to be at 3,000 or above by the time we get to Hayden. By the time I get to Hayden, I'll be rising. So I'm going to take it down to 3 and let the autopilot do the rest. I want to see where that takes us. So 3,000 is Hayden. That looks almost like it's pretty much bang on right there. But now this has gone up the other way for now. Okay. I'm going to engage VNav again and see if the plane can sort itself out. I'm leaving the plane to do it now. Well, how many Russians and Ukrainians are going to be on my stream? There's 8 people watching. But, you know, I'm allowed my opinion. And I think it's fairly... I think I'm in the majority. And for anyone who thinks that otherwise, well, they're just wrong. See, now the plane's leveling up here. Come on, man. How would you expect to make 10,000 feet if you're leveling up now? Oh, jeez. This plane, honestly. Once we drop under 18,000, we're going to need the meta for Memphis, which is it here? Okay, we'll just put in something. Why is Memphis not on this list yet? Most of the point, why can't I type it in? We're so close to Memphis Airport and it hasn't got it in the list. I'm taking over the descent of this plane. Now, what keys did I use for this? There we go. It's already whinging about being too steep. I have no idea what to put for the barometric, so I'm going to have a quick look on my phone. .1023. Okay, that's the correct barometric pressure. Okay, flight path is okay for me. I'm coming down fast, but I'm hoping that this... You see how the number is now decreasing? That's good. Because once it gets to 0, it'll be back in that middle again. Yeah, Thomas, I'm okay, thanks. Where are you? Where are you then in the world? So we need to be 3,000 or above here. Well, 3,000 exactly is good enough for me. See, now this number is really going down. We can actually decrease the vertical speed now. As long as we make Hayden, we can decrease it a bit more now. And I've got the stabilizers on as well. I've got the slats up, you see, just to keep the plane slowed down. We're supposed to be here and we're doing 280. Madagascar, cool. Nice. How is it there? Is it good? So hopefully once we get 3,000 before Hayden, the plane will level up and it'll give it a chance to slow down. Because the landing speed we want, I think we can find it here. Approach reference here. We're going to be on 30 flaps, so 113 knots is what we're going to be landing at, or should be landing at that speed. Let's see. Do 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 do. Oh man, we are coming down now. We're a lot closer to the ground now than we were. So, getting ready for the landing then. We want the auto brakes on. I'm going to put them on to 1. And I'm going to go to flaps 1 just to slow the plane down a little bit more. And that is 3,000. So hopefully we'll capture the glide slope. And by McGee we want to be at 2000. And here's the final turn. We're a bit high, guys. I'm not sure if we're going to make this. Maybe. Yeah, we've got the glide slope. Oh, wait a minute. Yeah, no, we're good. I need 1, 2, 3 more sets of flaps. And I'm going to bring in the air brakes. Don't need those anymore, don't think. And flaps 30. Speed is coming down. We want to be not too much slower. There we go. 120. Nice and slow. Memphis, Tennessee, guys. Please start descending. This is kind of weird. I think something's messed up here. Nope. Okay. So I think to avoid the beep, 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 beep stuff.
Approaching minimums.
I think you have to cancel the autopilot twice.
Glide slope. Glide slope. Glide slope. Glide slope. Glide slope.
I don't know what you mean.
Glide slope. 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 Glide slope.
I can't push the plane down. I'm ignoring you.
Sync rate.
I couldn't push the plane down.
100.
Forget the beeps.
50. 30. 10.
'Shut up. That was just autopilot rubbish. The beep beep beeps. Yeah, I don't know. I disabled the autopilot, but then I didn't want to hit the trees. But I was pitching the joystick down, but the plane wasn't going down with it. So we ended up staying a little bit high for some reason, but it's okay. We got down. Hi, Aquatic. Welcome, welcome. End of the flight. Yeah, it'd be nice to have a decent landing. I haven't had a decent landing for a while. The last two have been a bit rubbish. We got them down. It just hasn't been. There's just been one particular hurdle that's got in the way. See, on this one, I did do the disengagement of the autopilot. I pressed the button twice, which makes it only go burp, burp, burp 3 times. That happened. That was correct. But then as soon as I disabled the auto throttle, because I wasn't happy with the amount of thrust that was being applied on the landing there, it felt like it was a little bit too much. And so I thought I would take over. And when I cancelled the autopilot, the auto throttle, sorry, which you can't do that twice, it was just giving me beep, 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 beep the whole time. And the glide slope thing, yes, we were off the glide slope because I took over. I don't know what that is, but no matter. Despite all of the overwhelming stuff going on in the cockpit, we still got down decently. Yeah, didn't use any reverse thrusters. I had the auto brakes on, so I'm going to take those off now. Why would you guide me? Oh, okay, I see. I'll see what you're doing. Nothing coming then. I think I forgot to do something crucial before. So quite how the plane flew this way, I don't know. Let me just double check on my... Actually, if I double check, it's going to veer me off the road, isn't it? So let's have a quick look. No, it is all good. Okay, I didn't forget it. Never mind. I thought I'd forgotten the engine gens, but maybe I did. I don't know. Passing the power over to the engines. I'll explain it later, guys. No, it's not new. It's just a mod, DEFCON. It's just a mod to get rid of those stupid big triangles. When I was flying to Memphis. Doo-doo-doo. Yeah, relatively good flight. But the it's weird because I've done so many normal, proper landings with this plane. Sometimes they just don't work out. Maybe have to refresh my my memory on it. Watching some other people do it. Proper 737 pilots. Not quite sure where this thing's taking me. Are you just going to veer me left or right? Yeah. Okay, I see where we're going. Yeah, it's a shame that on this mod for the guidance dots, the taxi dots, you can't get rid of that big blue box. There is a mod that will do it, but the guidance arrows are not very nice. Not as nice as this one anyway. Okay, we're not doing a return flight, so we don't need to request the fuel guy. Okay, looks like we have ground power now. Okay, so now the APU can go off. Packs off. And No, not outside the plane, inside the plane. Let's see, the D-plane is weird how it works. But anyway, we'll come to that. Welcome to Memphis. Do I have to open the door myself? Or is it going to do it? There we go. And on the back. Yeah, so it was just, the sun had just risen by the time we'd taken off. Well, it was dark at the beginning of the stream. But yeah, all doing good now. Now, to deplane everybody, we want to select 0. And it doesn't light up, even though the stairs are there and everything. So you can't actually start getting people off, which is very weird. But if we request the bus, because otherwise if you put jetway, it'll work. And I think what it is if you have jetway selected, doesn't mean the jetway is coming, they still have the stairs to come down. It gives the passengers a way to get from the plane to the airport. I guess, I don't know. If you're bringing them off by the stairs, then you need a bus. So I'm hoping that when the bus arrives, which is there, it should allow us to deplane. There we go. So now the passengers have got a place to go to, which is the bus. And now we need to get all the baggage off. So let's get the loaders over here. And also the carts over here. So the passengers are literally coming off the plane now. Yeah, that big green block is just horrible. I wonder if we can get rid of it in the menu options. I don't think so, otherwise people would have done it already. I don't think these guys show up with the engines running. If you've got the engines blasting, I'm pretty sure they don't show up, and you can't get the passengers off the plane either. The engines have to spin down to a certain power level, let's say. Okay, so we want to get all the baggage off. So 0 on the front and 0 on the back. So once they are ready, that should light up and we can start unloading the baggage. In the meantime, let's take a look at what we can switch off up here. I think these is okay, yeah. Isolation valve, we'll put that to there. They generally don't get touched anyway, we'll leave those. Fuel pumps can go off. Your damper actually stayed on, that's surprising. And we can set that to ground power. Yep, we can see it. Normally I would be turning all the lights down and everything, but didn't do the runway lights when I was taxiing or anything. I never bother doing that. Don't know, I just never do. I wonder why that stays lit up. Right, are we ready to take the baggage off? Yes, we are. So please start unloading. How are we doing on the passenger side? 17 people left on the plane. And then we can shut the plane off. Nice and easy. So, switches here. Kind of all good, really. Flight director off. Maybe I should have disabled the autopilot that way instead. I don't know. I'll keep trying different things on different flights, and I'm sure it'll come. Flaps are up, auto brakes are off. We can turn the nav system off as well. TCAS can go off. Yep. Okay, passengers are now off the plane, so the bus can go and the stairs can go. Take the passengers to the airport, PMDG bus. Brum brum, brum brum, brum brum. There you go, through the building. And away they go. That jetway's in an awkward position. Would it have, I don't know if it would have found its way to our plane. Would it have connected to the right hand door, I wonder? As you can see, they're all releasing in sequence. The stairs couldn't move until the bus did, and this won't move until they're out the way. How's the baggage doing? Okay. The guys on the front are working a lot better. There you go, that's done. So we can now release the carts and the loader on the front. And that's it. Carts and loader on the back. In terms of our fuel now, we've got 17%. We could bring the fuel truck in, the tow truck. We could bring the fuel truck in to top it up, but there's no need to because we're not going to be taking off. We can do that if we were sleeping overnight, and then we'll fuel up in the morning if that was going to be the case. Yeah. So I think we're good. Cabin lights, automatic, so I'm not sure this works, the amount of brightness in the cabin for the passengers. I don't know whether that works. Are we good? Just waiting for the baggage people to leave and then we can shut the plane down. Yeah, we're good. They're disconnected anyway. Okay, so we are on ground power. Batteries are on anyway, but disconnect the emergency lights and also the battery. And she's sleeping. San Antonio to Memphis, guys. That's it. I'm done. Stream was 2 hours 45, which when you think that the flight was 1.5 hours, 1 hour 15 of prep and taxiing and switching off. Not too bad. But I thought I would show my workings on this one, how I plan the flight, because just in case it helps anybody else. But probably better to go by a real pilot, which isn't me. Anyway, guys, that's it then. I'm going to call the stream there. We landed safely and everything is good. So, thank you for being here. And yeah, I'll catch you on the next one, which might be today. I don't know. I might feel like doing another stream of something. Don't know. Maybe. Thank you, Strider, for the narration today of our passengers, adding a bit of immersion. All right. Thank you for flying SouthWest Airlines. Catch you next time. Bye.